of a different start to this vlog, as I'm at home in the kitchen. I would show you, but it's a mess because I've been emptying my car out ready for champs next week. But on my Instagram, you guys, a few of you have asked for a video on how I do going to the gallops and the timings and stuff, so I thought I would show you. And the reason I've started at home is because I always go on to Google My Maps first, to the place that I'm going to go and gallop. I'll show you in a minute. But I basically measure the distance so that I know, going around at 90 speed, which is 450 meters a minute, how fast I need to have done that distance in, if that makes sense. I'll show you on my screen. This is Google My Maps. It's completely free to use, so you can go and I literally just search My Maps in Google, and then here you can see the gallops that we use. The yard is literally there, so we just hack across the road and then come here. So what I do is use the measuring tool. Is that working? Start just above the bottom, go all the way up, try and follow it as close as possible to get the most accurate reading. It's quite hard because I'm trying to do this whilst looking through my phone screen. I don't go all the way to the top because obviously you do stop before you get to the top. So there you go, that whole distance is 926 meters. So to work out the speed or the time that I need to go up the gallops in, I do the 926 meters divided by the speed of the class that I'm doing, so 450 meters, which means that I have to do the gallops in just over 2 minutes. And it's very just over 2 minutes. I think it's 2 minutes 5 seconds or something like that. So that's what I'm looking at. Although my first time I did go up the gallops, just had my stopwatch on and just went for a warm-up, and we actually met that time pretty bang on. So now I know that it's actually quite a nice canter, although obviously going around a cross-country course you do want to speed up in between fences and slow down for certain bits, but it was quite a nice steady canter for Casper, and so now I've got the hang of it. I then go to the gallops. I still use my watch every time I go to the gallops, just so that I can make sure that I'm still regulating it. I still know what that feels like, and then I shall head to the gallops after this and show you guys what I do. Before I'd go, I'd also add in that I do canter around the fields at the farm as well, so I thought I haven't actually measured them yet, so I'll do that now and show you guys where I go and what I do. This is the farm, and I tend to go from, hang on, I've got to actually use, so I canter from the back of this field all the way up here, around this field. It's quite far. I would imagine it's about the distance of a cross-country course. So I tend to go this way and go all the way to the end of this field, and then sometimes I add in going down there, and then this is a nice hill. Oh, I'm not even looking at the screen. This is a nice hill here, so sometimes I also go in and add that, so that would be going up there and round there. So if we do that, go up the hill and then I go back there and finish about there. So that's 3.8k, which is much longer than a cross-country course. I think the cross-country course for 90 is max 2.8k. So, but if I divide that by, oh, can't even see, 3.8 divided by 450, so I should be going around there in, that's essentially 8.5 minutes. So because Casper and I are going to our first ever 3-day event, I've been trying to get Casper a bit more fit than he'd usually be, which is why I've done that whole 3.8k, because we are going to have to do roughly, I think it's 10 minutes hack before the steeplechase, and there's steeplechase which you have to do in under 2 minutes. Then you go out for another about 25 to 30 minutes, and then you go cross country. So your horse is doing quite a lot more than they'd usually do at a normal one-day event. Obviously this is dressage, cross country and show jumping over 3 days, but the cross country part is a lot longer. Even though most of it is just a hack, it still is quite a lot more effort for the horse than usual. So he is getting extra fit, and also we're doing it at Swaycliffe, which if you've been there you know quite how hilly the cross country course can be. So I just want to make sure that Casper is extra fit to give him the best chances of being less tired for the trot up and show jumping the next day. So it's been about a month since I last filmed those first clips in this vlog, but I am on Casper. We are going for a canter. We're going to do the bit around the fields to the 2.3 kilometres. So I'm just going to work it out on my phone. So I'll do the 2,320, yeah that's right, divided by 450, which is the 450 metres a minute, to see how many minutes it should take me to get up there. So it is going to take me about 5 minutes 10 seconds to get, I don't know what my dog's looking at, to get from just up there to the point, I don't know if you can see, but it's just in the corner there, the corner of those woods, essentially. And yeah, so I will take you along with me. Casper hasn't been cantered in a couple of weeks. He had last week off, so we shall see what happens, but hopefully he'll be a good boy and it'll be quite easy for me to film. But I've got, hang on, got my stopwatch on my arm. I start on 0 because that's just the way I like to do it. Some people will start with the 5:10 and go down to 0. I go from 0 up to 5:10, but you can do it however you prefer. The way that you go cross country is what I'd probably recommend. And basically you just keep cantering at the speed that you feel is the right one, and then with some practice you can learn to feel that is the right pace, and you're not going too fast and you're not going too slowly, or when you need to speed up you can tell sort of how much you need to speed up to then be able to slow down for combinations and things like that. But yeah, let's get on with some cantering. So off we go. There's a lot, oh god, there's a hare in front of the spaniels. Millie! There's a lot to look at. There's a lot of straw that's burning. I started my watch. We're going. There's literally hares everywhere, so there's going to be a lot for Casper to spook at. But yeah, we're just going to crack on. Good lad. At a good pace. I'll keep checking my watch just to see what it's saying, whether I think we're doing the right speed or not, and hopefully Casper won't let me off. I'm going to put 2 hands on the reins for a bit. We are just coming up to the end. We're on 4:48, so we're going to hit sort of about 5 minutes by the time we hit this hedge line, as you can hear it. Ooh. So it tells me every minute, and we are going to be nearly bang on. Good lad. Stop the watch. 5:07. So pretty much nearly bang on. Good boy. So I've obviously done that quite a few times, and I know exactly Casper's rough speed, but the first few times I was completely out. I did it on Nutty, and I think I was a minute too slow. Granted, I did do the calculations wrong, but I thought it was about the right pace, and then I redid the calculations and I was like, that is completely wrong. I think I did it at 6 minutes. Don't ask me how. I did it at 6 minutes. So yeah, quite a bit slower. And Michael was behind on Casper saying, this feels really slow, and I was like, no, it's about right, it's about right. So obviously if you have different horses, you need to get to know their paces. It doesn't feel the same on every horse. But I know Casper pretty well, and I know his speed. He tends to start off a bit quicker and do the last bit a bit steadier, just because he has all that energy at the beginning. And I, on a natural cross-country course, I do tend to try and aim for the earlier slot in the time window. So you're allowed 15 seconds faster than the optimum time. So I tend to hit that. So for cantering it would be 4:55. Just because you never know if you're going to have a spook at a silly gateway, or if you have a run out or Simon stops in the middle of the field when I try to turn him, you never know when that's going to happen. So I try to end, be going towards the end of the course up on my minute markers, so that I can just bring them back to me and I can go steadily over the last few to get inside the optimum time if I'm still going too fast. But yeah, you never know what's going to happen, so I like to allow myself a little bit of extra time. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear me, so I have to put my hand over the microphone. But yeah, I allow myself a little bit of extra time rather than... Oh, that was close. There's the spaniels off. They found some animals in the hedge. Come on, out! Anyway, yeah, so that was basically it. Let me know if you want me to tell you anything else. I'll put a link to my stopwatch in the description below, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and see you next time.